It's sweet, it's spicy, it's a holiday classic, it's a cookie with a kick. It's Ginger Snaps! Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking It Real. I'm Kathy, and I am so glad that you're joining me in the kitchen. Today we are doing a holiday classic, one of my favorite Christmas cookies, although it's good any time of the year, Ginger Snaps. Ginger Snaps reminds me of cool fall evenings, snowy winter days, the holidays in general. And people enjoy ginger snaps in different kinds of ways. There are crispy ginger snaps, there are soft ginger snaps. Today we're going to do my favorite kind of ginger snap, which is a homemade ginger snap, and it is kind of like a combo between the two. A little bit crunchy, a little bit soft, absolutely beautiful. A couple years ago, my son-in-law, the Chef Caleb, some of you know, and my daughter, we had a ginger snap extravaganza, and we made different kinds of flavored ginger snaps. Today, I'm just going to make the basic ginger snap, but I'm going to tell you all about what we did to zizz it up. All right, let me show you the ingredients, and let's get started. Okay, here's the quick rundown of ingredients. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 cup of granulated sugar. I have 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter. That is a stick and a half. And I have a 1/4 cup of molasses, 1 egg, and here are my spices. First of all, I have salt. That's about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I have a teaspoon of ground clove. I have about 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon and 2 hefty teaspoons of ground ginger. Now, if you're not into the clove, like my sister Teresa, she's not so much into clove in her house. You can omit the clove altogether. You can knock it down a couple notches. Just add a little more cinnamon, maybe a little more ginger. Okay? You do you, boo. All right, that's it. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start like a lot of good recipes do with my butter. This butter is softened. My kitchen is not that warm. We haven't turned the heat on yet, although we're very close to that. So 3/4 of a cup of softened butter and my 1 cup of granulated sugar. And we are going to cream that together. Put on my paddle. Lock and go. Okay, look, cooking it real right off the bat. Yeah, my butter is not that soft. Oh, mercy. Okay, but we're gonna, I'm gonna chunk it up a little bit, and then we're gonna beat it up some more, and it'll work. I promise you. I promise you. One thing you don't want to do when you're softening butter is, if you're tempted to put it in the microwave, okay, you can do that, but do it for 4 seconds. You don't want to melt it, because you need the texture of it being semi-solid. All right. Okay, that didn't even take 1 whole minute. And it's nice. It's nice now. That's exactly what we want. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our 1 egg. And all the time when you see a recipe in baking, egg means 1 large egg. Okay, 1 egg. That goes in our compost. And the 1/4 cup of molasses. Ooh, baby. This is what gives it that holiday feeling. You saw my video about hermits that I did recently. That was my first molasses my first molasses dessert of the season. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Oh, yum, good stuff. All right. Mix this up. That's looking good. I'm going to give it a scrape to make sure all that butter is off the bottom. I'm thinking of getting a new paddle attachment. Have you seen those? The paddle attachment has a little thing on the side that goes up against the side of the bowl and kind of scrapes down the bowl as you're going. Oh, how cool would that be? All right, here we go. All right, perfect. Everything is very well incorporated. I like it. Okay, now it's time. Whoop, I got some butter up here still. Down. Get in there, you. All right, you're going in with the rest of it. Okay. Now for the bad girl baking part. Here is my 1/4 teaspoon of salt, my 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Everybody in. Good, good. And then my cloves and my cinnamon and my ginger. We'll give that a quick mix. Okay, and now we're going to add the 2 cups of flour a little bit at a time, maybe about like a 1/2 cup at a time, and mix it in. All right, now we have our cookie dough. Look at that. All right, I'm going to show you what that is like. See, it's soft, but somewhat formable. What I'm going to do is, and this is an optional thing, I am going to cover this with some plastic wrap. I'm going to put it in the fridge, and I'm going to let it chill for a little bit. Now, you can make this a day ahead. You can make this 2 days ahead, 3 days ahead of your baking, whatever. You could put this, you could do it to this point and put it in the freezer, and then take it out and make your ginger snaps. So good. Oh, that smells so good already. All right, so I'm just gonna chill this. I think I'll probably chill it for about an hour, just to make it easier to scoop. All right. Before I forget, let me tell you what we did to jazz up our ginger snaps that time. We had to get together, and as per usual, we were talking about food, and we were talking about Christmas cookies and things like that, and the topic of ginger snaps came up, and we thought, what could we do to make ginger snaps just be a little something, something, something? And so first we thought, let's add some fresh grated ginger. Like, oh man, that will probably really zing it up to the max. And it totally did. What we did was we got together, I made like 4 batches of the dough, just like you just saw me do. And I divided it into 4. One we kept just plain and regular. The second one, we added some freshly grated ginger to it. Probably for that amount of cookie dough that you just saw me make, I think we added probably about 3 tablespoons of ginger. I mean, like, it was a good amount. For the third batch of dough, we added curry powder. And you think, curry powder? Well, that's like a savory thing, isn't it? It's like, well, yeah, it is. But some of the spices that are in curry powder were already in the cookies, like the ginger, like the cinnamon, like the clove. And it just seemed like, let's give it a try. And the fourth one, now this one was the kicker. We added, and this was Caleb's idea. It's crazy. We added finely minced habanero pepper. Ooh. I'm not kidding, habanero pepper inside the cookies. I think we probably used like 1 habanero. Finely minced. It turned out to be about a hefty tablespoon or so of habanero. So we baked up all the cookies. We kept them all separate so we knew which was which because they all kind of looked the same. They really didn't show any differently. First of all, we loved the regular ginger snap. That was great. The ginger snap with the fresh grated ginger, that was good. That was a little bit extra. But we thought even to ourselves at the time, it's like, man, we could have used even more grated ginger in that because it didn't come through in a huge way. But it was very good. The curry powder, that was the next favorite. It was like, ooh, it added a little warm kick and just gave it a rounded flavor that you would never expect. And you know what? If no one told you there was curry powder in it, you probably wouldn't even know. But the secret weapon, the mind blower, was the habanero. I'm telling you, now if you're not a fan of like spicy food, don't even try that. Okay, habanero, gotta be careful. But it was so good. That sweet heat, that kick, I mean, talk about a kick. It was unbelievable. So we love the cookies and we couldn't wait for other people to try them. So we did like a blind taste test with Will, with Brian, with Melanie, and it was like, wow, those habanero ginger snaps were a hit and a half. Now, if you want to try making habanero ginger snaps, go for it. But even if you don't plan to jazz up your ginger snaps, try the basic recipe. You're going to like that one for sure. Okay, my dough is rested in the fridge for a little over an hour, maybe about an hour and a half or so. Been doing other things. And I have that chilled dough right here. I have a plate with some granulated sugar on it. That's probably about 3 or 4 tablespoons. We're going to roll the dough in the sugar, and then I'm going to put it on a parchment-lined baking sheet. So the first thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 350. And if you want to use like a cookie scoop to measure these out and make them all beautiful, you can definitely do that. But I'm going to use about this much per cookie. I'm going to make them kind of small because I think that's more fun. You can have more cookies. And I'm just going to roll them into little balls. And these are like, what size would you say that is? It's not a marble. And it's not a ping pong ball. It's somewhere in between. I'm just going to roll these around. And you don't have to flatten them because they're going to flatten in the oven. And let's see. I'll put 2. I think I'm going to do them like this. Of course, I'm using my little toaster oven. Still in the toaster oven phase of life. And we're going to bake these for between 11 and 13 minutes. Every oven is different. So the first batch, especially, you want to keep a good eye on them. All right. And you don't have to roll these in sugar if you don't want. That's completely optional. A cautionary tale. After 12 minutes, it kind of got a little put together like this, so maybe spread them out even more or make them a little bit smaller. But don't they look great? All right, now I'm going to put them on a wire rack to cool completely. Okay, that looked better. A little bit spread out like that. But the other ones came apart really well, really easily. So let's get these cooled. See how they spread out and they're thin, and the ones that are cooled are becoming a little crispy. Delightful. So 12 minutes at 350. Look how beautifully these turned out. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. Look at this. This is like the perfect cookie. Look at that. Oh, now you don't have to put the sugar on them, like I said, if you don't want. And hey, if you want to do habanero, go for it. Don't have habaneros, want to give it a kick? Throw in a little bit of cayenne pepper. Woohoo! Try that one on for size. Look at this. Ooh. Ah. Okay, friends, I'm still baking because I'm using my little toaster oven. So I'm going to let you know in the description box just how many cookies this recipe made. And as you can see, those little tiny, bigger than a marble, smaller than a ping pong ball, made some like good sized cookies. And they are so like crispy. You hear that? But they're soft a little bit inside. Oh, they're just absolutely perfect. And now it's time to taste. Oh, mmm. Oh, it's good. Oh, just like Christmas, just like fall, just like ginger snaps. They're just absolutely divine. I love them. You know, ginger snaps make a great snack, but another use that you have, you can crumble these onto ice cream, make them into, add them to like a parfait. With you can put them in your yogurt. You can crumble them up and make a crust, like a graham cracker crust, except with ginger snaps. Oh, how wonderful would that be? Like maybe like a, like a, like a cream pie, like a Christmas cream pie with a ginger snap crust with a creamy vanilla-ish filling with a little bit of like chopped up or crushed up peppermint, like candy canes on the top. Oh, whipped cream candy canes. Oh, oh, I'm in the holiday spirit. I'm gonna go put up the tree right now. It's the end of October. I don't care. When you're in the mood, you're in the mood. Anyway, listen, friends, I think you should try these cookies. I think you should definitely try them plain, or plain. They're perfect plain. If you want to try them classically, let's just say classically. But if you want to zhuzh it up a little bit, try that too. Go for it. Try it plain, then try zhuzhing it up. But either way, I think you're going to like them. And if you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. It helps everyone to find my channel. Like, subscribe, share. That's all you got to do. And I'll see you next time on Cooking It Real. Bye, friends. More cookies to come.